a couple of minutes back.
One, you're live.
Good evening. I'd like to call the July 15th of the Ashland Board of Health to order. The first thing on our agenda is public comment. Do we have any public comment?
Yes, I'm not going to Zoom bomb. You don't have to worry about that. Mark Sony, 119 Main Street, and I haven't been on in a little while. I was trying to get through the summer that we had. I just wanted to ask if there's been any summer cool places for the town's elderly. Has there been any open?
Mark, say that again.
Has there been any cool spots open for this heat wave? We've been having a couple. Has there been any open and any to be open for this coming week, end of the week?
So during the day, so as always, during the day, the community center is open and the library is open.
Okay, and no, that's it. So,
Okay. So the next thing on our agenda is the health director's report. Raj?
And Chief, we have Mr. Curran, who's going to brief us on the first two items. He's been working with both of the establishments. So I'm going to give it to Mr. Curran to explain it to the board, what's going on with the Ale House and 135 discount store. So just a background, right? We had two complaints about some sort of water leakage, mold at 135 discount, So we've been working with them. The first complaint was kind of in February or around that time. And then there was a recent one that we had, so Mr. Curran, please, if you can brief the board, please.
Sure. So actually looking back through the inspection history, I realized that I did have a complaint regarding this issue back on December 30th of 24. And I responded to a complaint about water leaking into 135 discount from a neighboring business being Ashland Ale House. It was determined that it might be a lateral line under the business. So we, at that time, the owners at 135 discount had been in contact with their landlord being Market Basket. They closed off the area that was affected, the two aisles closest to the right-hand wall as you walk in the door. They put some barriers around it so customers didn't go near it. Market Basket assisted them with some remediation work to control the environmental hazard. And it was determined at a follow-up visit on January 13th that this in fact was a lateral line underneath Ashland Ale House, which is in a crawl space that is inaccessible because it's boxed in with cinder blocks and it's underneath a raised floor, which is also a concrete slab. And it was determined that it was between a glass washer at the bar and a hand sink in the kitchen. So the business made the decision at that point, to my knowledge, to discontinue using those two units. They worked with Rapid Flow Plumbing due to the challenging nature of accessing the underneath there. They injected a sealant into the line, and it was felt that the issue was resolved by March 1st. At a follow-up visit then, at that point, Market Basket had replaced carpeting, cut out moist wall materials to dissuade any, growth of mold, remediated the area, repaired the drywall, installed new carpet tiles, cleaned it. And then unfortunately on June 5th, we received another complaint, and it was for the very same issue again. So it wasn't resolved. So we've been in contact with the building department throughout this whole process. We've gotten assistance from the plumbing inspector, Chuck DeBritz, who's been working with them and kind of leaning on Rapid Flow as to why the issue wasn't resolved the first time. I have an email from Chuck dated July 9th that he feels like this last round of sealants that has been put into the lateral has taken, and it has solved the problem. I still have follow-up visits scheduled with the business, being 135 discount businesses and Ashland Ale House. It's important to note that during this whole scenario and how this played out, I think at one point it was conveyed to me that, although I don't know if they confirmed this or not, that Market Basket's maintenance people may have drilled a hole into the rear wall of Ashland Ale House to kind of let some of the water out from underneath, which obviously is not an acceptable solution, being, gray water and wastewater that, would leak into the adjacent wetlands. So we did, Radja did instruct me to flag the conservation department on that, which we did. And I've ordered the business to, remediate all affected areas and provide us with invoices supporting that.
And Chief, if any board member have any questions, only other thing, Dr. J, yes, but only other thing, I met the owner of discount store like a couple of weeks back, right? Before that, we have put it on our inspection that, this matter now continuing for a good amount of time, at least that we know, right? But the discount store owner told me this is going for at least 5 years, so, and this is one other establishment like the state in 2018, 2019 exempted them from a permit from Board of Health, so this is the second example after Dollar Tree, right, that we are dealing with the facility that, Board of Health have no permit, but we still have jurisdiction based on complaints, So I just wanted to bring it to your attention, what's going on. And Dr. J, please go ahead, so.
Yep. Thanks, Raj. And thanks, Tom. So
Okay.
just to paint the picture of what it looks like when you're in there, because it's one thing to see it written out, but nice to hear your description of it. So was there like a lot of water coming into 135, and where was it, like coming up from the floor, or
Yeah, so it was when you walked into the wall on the right-hand side of the store, which is the barrier wall between 135 Discount and Ashland and Ale House. It was trickling in through the baseboards underneath on the floor. It wasn't like torrents of water. It was kind of a slow, continuous leak, and it soaked into the wall materials, and it was enough to cause some significant damage. Thankfully, the landlord did, assist with 135 Discount in replacing floor and wall materials, and unfortunately, it happened a second time, and it damaged those materials yet again. So I think they're working to get that fixed, but as it stands now, hopefully the problem has been resolved, and I think they might have opted for this type of solution with the sealant into the line because the alternative would be extensive costs with concrete sawing involved, and just to access the crawl space. This place was built long before any of us were working here, so I mean, I don't understand the rationale behind boxing in utilities like that to render them inaccessible. That's been referred to the building inspector, but you would think that moving forward there would be some means to get under there to access utilities and pipes and whatnot. I mean, I think a more permanent, viable solution would be to take the whole lateral out entirely. But I've seen this material work in my other experiences. Sometimes municipalities use it to patch wastewater lines and streets and things like that. So it is something that the plumbing inspector said is a viable solution to patch holes in lateral lines. So and he seems to think that this time around it has worked.
And the hole that was drilled in the wall on the outside, how much water is actually coming out of that? And where is it in proximity to the wetlands? Because isn't there a sort of a parking lot or place to drive around back?
Yeah, so it's very close to the wetlands. There is sort of a I don't know if to call it like a culvert or something like that with some, I don't know if it's a stream or if it's just a channel for wastewater. I mean, rainwater to collect. It's getting a little too close for comfort to, and then all with the hard rains and things, it's kind of a continuous leak. Again, it's not like torrents, but it ebbs and flows, no pun intended, depending on, what use that the units hooked up to it may get, being that hand sink and the glass washer. And again, they said they've been trying to monitor that, and when it happens, they try to stop using those units to control the leak, but hopefully this patch is taken and it has solved the problem.
Got it. Thanks.
And
Thank
Dr.
you.
J, just want to add another thing to it, right? Myself and Conservation Department was supposed to go out this Monday, but there's certain other items popped up. We was not able to do that inspection or, go out with conservation that we should be doing later this week or, early next, So Becca Solomon, who is our conservation agent, I'm going with her to look more into it, So we'll be updating the board, at this point. Maybe by next, if this is not resolved, we will bring the parties to the boards in front of the board. That was the plan. But in favor of the businesses, we have invoices that we shared with the board. One of the invoices over $100,000, so they are definitely putting effort. The email that was sent to you, right, by Lynn, from Ale House, one of the invoices is over $100,000, and other costs too, so they're spending substantial amount of money here, so that's why we are also kind of very patient with them, to get this resolved, but at this point, we thought it's needed to bring it to board's attention, so that's why we are here.
That's right. And I agree that Lynn has been very good at communicating with us throughout this entire ordeal, as Rajat has stated, and has cooperated with us immensely, given the circumstances.
And that $100,000 tab, that is basically the cheap solution here.
Mr. Kingsman, don't know, but I don't know, but they've been working, but this is one of the invoice, so I hopefully Market Basket is also taking some part of it, given their landlords, by early on last time I had a talk, I did speak to one of the managers and at Market Basket, and we had a conversation and we asked them to get this resolved, though we don't want to engage with the Market Basket, given, this problem is at a different establishment, so, I mean, I don't know if that's a cheap solution, but
I guess what I mean to say is that if this doesn't fix the problem,
right.
then future remediation will be more expensive.
Absolutely, and I guess they have a cleaning company also. Is it Clean Harbors, right? Who are working with them, Tom? I guess I saw one of the companies, will be assisting them with the cleaning part. I can pull that, but I guess it was Clean Harbors who will be doing the remediation.
I did see the Rapid Flow invoice, but I haven't seen the Clean Harbor one.
There was definitely another one, that I saw, I can pull that.
Yeah, it was actually stated in the letter, I think.
Okay.
It's a reference to that.
Thank you.
Anybody else with any questions?
Do we know how far the wastewater actually spread into, if it did spread into the wetlands, and if so, how far?
Last week, I think I have a picture of it on my inspection report. When I was out there, it was, it was in that back parking lot area, alleyway, so to speak. It was pretty close to being able to trickle down into that area, but it hadn't traveled that far yet. Thank God. But, that's why I kind of flagged it with the conservation agent, myself and Rajat, for her to take a closer look at that. Obviously, we want to protect the environment, we want to protect the public, but we want to, make sure that we're not, polluting waterways or anything like that. So.
And is it just sewage water, or is it food, oil, grease?
It appears to be what we would call gray water. I would stop short of calling it raw sewage. It doesn't appear to have any fecal matter in it. It looks like it is kind of what they had said, hooked up to a dishwasher and a hand sink. So it's probably, slight oils and detergents and, mixed in with wastewater. So thankfully, I wouldn't call it, raw sewage, so to speak. It appears to be gray water, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? We're good? All right, thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
Chief, he want to brief us on Sunnyside too, please. Sorry about that.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, sure. So I did have a routine inspection with Sunnyside it was back in April. I did give them some extra time because there was some repairs that they had to complete. I would have been back sooner, but with the farmers market and other things going on, I did end up back there on July 5th, and for a compliance inspection, and there was numerous outstanding violations, cleaning and repair violations, some buildup of filth underneath the cook line equipment, food spatters on walls, damaged baseboard surfaces that need to be replaced, shelving in the walk-in cooler that needs to be either cleaned and resurfaced or replaced, a door gasket on a freezer. They also didn't have required certifications posted as they are supposed to be with their permit. So they has still yet to post their allergen, their choke save, in their current health permit in a visible area, which is a requirement. So given the inspection history and past board appearances, I opted to issue them a $200 fine based on Town of Ashland bylaws for a Board of Health.
So that was issued on July 5th.
Yes. And I plan to,
Laura, has that been paid?
Chief, we have not heard from the
No.
clerk's department, so neither, sorry, Laura, so
Oh.
neither from them, from the owner or the clerk's department, no, we have no confirmation that it's paid, But I will, in the morning tomorrow, I will check again with the clerk's department and I will let you know, or the board know.
Yeah, they usually let us know, but we haven't heard anything.
So Tom, what are the next steps? If there's health violations, what's the next step?
so I'm going to plan to be back in there again this weekend, and I will certainly keep you posted. And I think the next step, if there's, chronic non-compliance, would be to have them appear again before this board, and hopefully the fine has coerced them to come into compliance. And certainly we want to develop a long-term plan to avoid this in the future, maybe assist them with developing some cleaning schedules and address any deferred maintenance and get that taken care of expeditiously as possible. I mean, I'll work with anybody. My last resort is to issue fines or pull them in front of the board. I try to work with businesses and as much as possible to assist them. But again, given the history here.
Okay, so when will your next inspection be? Now that they've been issued a fine, so you were there on July 5th. When
Yeah.
would the next day be that you would go?
I'll probably go Saturday morning.
Okay,
Just because of the hours of operation, or I could reach out to the owner and maybe he can meet me there, on Thursday or something like that. I'll see if he can meet me earlier in the interest of, getting this wrapped up. If not, at the latest Saturday morning.
so I think, I hope I speak for the whole board, if there's still significant violations, then this week when you go, or if you go on Saturday, I think Raj, then you need to, after you see his inspection report, if there's still significant violations, I think you need to go there yourself. And then they would definitely have to come in front of the board at our next meeting with a plan.
Absolutely, Chief. So we'll plan, so Tom, give me a call, if
Okay.
it's not working, I'll come out there right away, and then
Okay.
we'll deal with it, okay?
All right. Sounds
Thank
good.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't want to speak for the whole board, but is the board in agreement with what I'm saying?
I have just a question, Tom. So I know that a couple years ago, I think it was a few years ago, we had them. You did the inspection. There was some violations. They came to the board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been since then? I mean, aside from what's going on right now, how did they react to that?
Based on these recent visits, I think it's kind of more of the same, unfortunately. There have been some other things that they did improve upon, like, with the temperature abuse and the cooling methods and things like that. However, they certainly need to concentrate on the cleanliness, the frequency of cleaning, having someone there that can assume active managerial control. I think the owner is kind of touch and go when he's there, and it is a family business. I certainly respect that. He has his sons in there. But I just think there needs to be some more cohesive and tangible training for the staff that's there, so they can kind of take ownership of the business and, avoid any of these issues from coming up in the future.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I think you may have shadowed me on an inspection there at one point.
I did.
yeah.
That was actually the first one I
Yeah.
went to.
And I did one with you, if you remember, and then we caught the guy smoking.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, never a dull moment.
All right, thanks, Tom. So Raj, can you
Thank
email the board once we come up with a plan?
Clearly, Chief, we'll follow up, for sure.
Okay. And now I think we continue with your report, Raj.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So the flu season is coming, right? So we, as of now, we have 4 scheduled flu clinics, right? This is in addition to what flu clinics we do, from the health department. Again, these clinics are with the Pine Hill Pharmacy from Sherburne. There are 3 clinics that we have put it here. The 4th clinic was actually scheduled for the Columbus Day, October 13th. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check with the management if they're okay. Hopefully they're okay to have us do the clinic on a holiday, and that might pull more crowd, or folks who work. Might be a convenience for them. So I'm gonna check on that and make sure that that's feasible, and we'll do that. So for right now, 4 clinics are scheduled all Mondays. This is what the pharmacy have available for us this year. And once we are done with this, we'll plan additional clinics. With the House Street landfill, our contractor Langdon did a annual inspection last month. I was with the team, right? We did submit a report to DEP on that, and there was one item that we have to do. There was some shrubs that was growing around the vents that our DPW have assisted us clearing that, so we are all good on that part. We had 2 complaints regarding unpermitted chickens along with roosters. One was at 46 Fountain Street. The owner was here late last week. Donna have issued her three tickets given non-compliance or not returning calls about the permitting of the chickens and the rooster. They have since removed the rooster at 46 Fountain. The owner have come in, applied for it. She have paid a fine of $50 and for the 2 first citations of $25 each, and we are still waiting for the 3rd fine of $50. So that's with 46 Fountain Street. And last week we got another complaint at 237 Pleasant Street, again rooster unpermitted chickens. They have a fine of $50. I guess that's been paid. I'm gonna confirm on that. And in this property, the conservation need to be involved given the proximity to the wetlands or the water resource. So we're going to work with them. The owner of 237 is working with WACA to have that filing. So I'll keep the board informed on that. Regarding the daycares, Sementina, Magica, last time I informed the board that they have submitted a copy of a food safety manager certification as well as the allergen. I'm still waiting for their plan review application for the food permit. And I have asked for an update late last week, and I've not heard since then, and I'll keep the board posted again on this. We picked up a couple of cases, one at Drive, Chestnut Place apartment. We had a complaint a week and a half back regarding roaches, some other structural things that I have confirmed and issued an order letter. This is the Chestnut Place apartments again, 20 Joanne Drive, number 35. The management have since informed me that the occupant have vacated the place. And I have advised the management not to re-rent the place or the unit till it's in compliance, and this has happened to last 3 cases, right? We had there that they re-rented, but I have it in writing to them now, and I'll follow up. There's another case at 242 Main Street. This is the repeat case. We had this, I guess, early this year again, roaches and some structural issues. I was there yesterday actually with our case manager from community center, right, to do inspection. We had found some issues with the pest as well as a couple of structural issues that we have issued a new order to correct letter to the owner, and I spoke to her yesterday. They're working on it, so that's that. 137 Pond Street again, no update from last time, I guess property is sold now. It's in between the new property owner and the occupant. Mr. Nasir's that they have asked access, I don't know, but it's in between them now. OpenGov permitting software is still working. Again, it's taking some time. we are still working with a team to develop our inspectional software. Again, Mr. Karan is also involved at this point. We was trying to test the new inspectional software that they have developed for us and found some challenges with that or deficiencies that the team is working. Hopefully we get this resolved and go live on OpenGov. Medical Reserve Corps, we do have our monthly meeting. I'm on their advisory board for the MRCR, Middle Fork MRC. Definitely the group is active now. We have a full-time coordinator for the unit. And another update that they have taken a storage space in Ashland. So they're shipping some supplies to us, that the team then from our office bring it to the storage, for the supplies for MRC. And remote area medical chief and Ms. Dr. J, you will know more about this, right? But what I heard from Mr. Murphy from Framingham that they have cleared the issue now with the medical thing, that was going on from the state, So and they are good to go on the clinic. On
You mean Raj? You mean I cleared it?
Chief, I have no doubt, but so I was on a meeting with him last week, with the MRC meeting, but but I don't want to say too much here, but I knew it, but I just wanted to update, So we'll see, hopefully good stuff.
I had to take the credit for that one.
Oh, absolutely. And last two clinics, I was speaking to Laura, I wish we have more credit, at least the board, that for the work that was done for the last two clinics, trust me, but I can't speak too much here, so, but thank you for what you guys are doing, anyways, that I appreciate, Dr. J, go ahead, please.
I just want to know if you've been contacted about having a table at the clinic.
I don't know formally. I guess we've worked together a lot, so but no formal conversation, but like
Okay.
If we need to, we can definitely, given we do a lot of work together as a group, a lot of grants together, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So you may not even have to do anything separate. And I only ask because it doesn't seem like this year they're really focusing too much on the community resource tables. Framingham will obviously be there,
right.
But in LHIP and maybe Brace, but I don't think there's going to be a big representation from the community. And so I was just wondering if anyone reached out to you, but it makes sense. If Bill's there, you're going to be there. So,
I mean, definitely whatever time I can spend, of late we are a little busy with our own work here, with a lot going on. I have forwarded you another third 40B that we got, so we have a lot going on at our end, so I mean, and I'll definitely be there, but I don't know how much time I'll be able to spend, with the clinic, so.
Yep, that makes sense.
Thank you, sir. Sure. And the last part is our disease investigation. Currently, we have 2 active TB cases that we are working and 1 norovirus case that we picked up over the weekend. We are following up on that. And I'm open for any questions now, please.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions for Raj?
I do. Raj, the 40B project, that's the one we were all expecting, right? The one on unit. It's not.
Dr. J. No, the third one is a new one, so we have 2 going on. One is on Main Street, 1060 Main Street, then we have another one on West Union, right? And this is the third one that got filed, on us. I guess this is 169 units, right? Came to me only a couple of days back, I am still, I have not opened the packet yet, last 2 days was crazy for me, but this is the third one that we got the application for.
Okay, because I was obviously aware of the Main Street one, and we talked about the one on West Union, but I wasn't sure if this was on everybody's radar. So
this is a brand new, sir. I guess it was Friday or Thursday last week I came to know, or Wednesday max, I was not aware of this even, so
Got it. Okay.
this is a new one. This is a third one and new
Got
one.
it.
Okay, anybody else? All right, so the next thing on our agenda is the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve it as is? Anybody?
What
I
if I,
motion,
go ahead.
I motion to approve it as is. The consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on it? All in favor? Aye.
I
That's an unanimous. And the next thing on our agenda is will be any future item tobacco regulation review. Raj, you gonna talk about that at all, or?
Yes, sir. So I'm meeting a tobacco control person, who again is in Framingham, right? So we are meeting this Thursday. And I know Mr. Kingsman last time, he agreed, to work with us. And again, this fallen through, so we are getting this back on here, right? Hopefully do some work on the regulation that we need to, and then I will send it to Mr. Kingsman first and then to the whole board, so we the amendments we need to make, that we can do. Another thing, I have an email from a Ashland resident. Now I'll share the email, so there's something called nicotine-free generation, I guess 12 communities have adopted this in Massachusetts, Hopkinton being the last one. They adopted it last month, that if they adopt this regulation, it's called nicotine-free generation, right? Like if the board decides, right, that the person who is not 21 on the date of when they adopt the regulation cannot buy tobacco products for the whole life, so it's a newer thing, right? 12 communities have adopted. I guess Brooklyn again was the first one to adopt, I guess, but Hopkinton is the 12th one that adopted the regulation, I will share some more information to the board on this. There is a Ashland resident who's interested, to speak to the board or, assist if the board decides to do something like that in Ashland. So we'll bring this conversation onto the board. Another thing that for future is going to be 12 Pond Street, that there is a coffee shop that have applied for a permit there or plan review right now. They'll be in front of the board asking for a external grease trap waiver that we got the request yesterday. So that'll be another item that we'll be bringing in front of the board for next meeting.
Okay, so our next meeting right now is scheduled for August 19th. Unless we have anything urgent that comes up where we may have to schedule something, especially once we have the results from Sunnyside. Do anybody have anything else they'd like to bring up at today's meeting?
Nope.
Okay. With that being said, I will request a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And I will
Second.
second that. All in favor?
I'll second it.
I
Great.
Aye.
Great.
Aye.
So unless anything urgent, everyone, we'll have another meeting on August 19th.
Okay.